Good afternoon. We are Jesus, Andres, and Pepe, and we're going to do reverse engineering of an electronic guitar tuner. An electronic guitar tuner is a device that is connected to a guitar or use a microphone that it has included so that you can tune your guitars to different strings. Uh, Here we're showing the guitar tuner off. As you can see, it has a LCD screen. It has some buttons. It has some LED indicators. It has an input for the guitar plug, and it has a microphone. Okay, now we are going to start opening it. The first step is to open it without a screwdriver. As you can see, we have the two batteries. Take them out, please. These are two AAA batteries. They are the power of all the circuit. Further on, we are going to take out the circuit board to make an inspection on what are the circuit components of this board. We need to take some screws. 1, 2, 3. These screws are driven out with a screwdriver, a cross screwdriver. Can you please show it? Okay, and the one last screw. Okay, we have all these screws out. Now we can lift the circuit board carefully so that we don't break any component. As you can see, the parts are coming off from the plastic. That's why it's complicated. You can do it, man. Okay, we cannot take it apart fully because we will need to take out the wires, and we don't want to break it. So let's start. Can you please show me the back? Okay, here we have the power, plus and minus, ground and power. This is the batteries give electricity toward the circuit. The circuit is on the other part. As you can see, there are I'm looking for the microprocessor. Okay. As you can see, this part is a crystal oscillator. I guess it's of 4 megahertz. This oscillator is what powers the microprocessor. The microprocessor is on the bottom of the screen. If you can see from there, you can see a microprocessor. The microprocessor is the one that receives all the electrical inputs and outputs and manages that information. Okay, then we have the microphone. Here, this is the microphone. The microphone has two wires, plus and minus. As you give electricity to the microphone returns you a value from 0 to 5 volts, or depending what batteries you are using, and depending on that value is that this microprocessor operates. If you give, for example, the maximum value, you are sensing the maximum sound. It also can, according to these values and of the frequency, you can determine what notes you are playing. So this information is the input for the microprocessor. The microprocessor then processes that information, displays it first on these 3 LEDs. If you can turn it around, you can see that the first LED, the first one marks if the note is a bemol. If the second one indicates if the note is exactly as desired, and the third one indicates if it is sharp. Yes, so this is the first indicator that you can see if the note you're playing is acute or grave. Okay, Then after the microprocessor sends the signals to the LEDs, the signal is sent to the LCD. The LCD is this display. The display operates on 8 bits. If you can see here, this pink stuff contains all the pins for the LCD. These pins, you input the data in a serialized way. What is a serialized way is that you enter, for example, if you want to send a letter, you send first the letter and then you say, okay, next instruction, and then you send the other letter and next instruction. This way, the LCD provides us with all the information. What else? Okay, then we have this input. This input is a guitar plug. You can plug a guitar in there, and instead of using the microphone, you use that. It is more accurate if you connect the guitar to the plug, because the sound waves are not distorted by the environment. So when you plug your guitar, the same process, input and then microprocessor, output in the LEDs, output in the microprocessor, and we also have here a speaker. The speaker, what does is that gives you a signal when you have an accurate note. So you have three indicators: the LEDs, the LCD, and the speaker, and two inputs. Yes. Finally, if you want to know something about cables, these cables are connecting the microphone to the microprocessor. These connect the input to the microprocessor. As you can see, there are three cables. One is of power, one is of ground, and the other one is of signal. The signal returns a value read by this. These are called capacitors. Capacitors are used to eliminate the bad frequency waves that are received from the batteries to regulate the voltage. And these cables connect the speaker to the microprocessor, and this, well, is the oscillator. Now we're going to turn it back. We turn it on, and as you can see, I'm going to speak. There you can see that I'm going to and the LEDs turn from red, yes, like it turns, okay. Then we have the speaker. When you click these buttons, you can send also to the speaker. So we are going to reverse engineer that again. Turn it back, please. We have the three buttons in here, but in the other side, maybe here are the buttons, and here is here. On the other side, we have three buttons. The buttons have also two cables that connect to the microprocessor. Yes. Okay. And basically that's all. The on-off button takes in or out the power, and that's all. Can you reassemble, please, so that we can finish?
Well, as you can see, this device is very useful. It turns inputs of the guitar or the microphone into outputs that you can see here in the screen.
Well, even though it is a simple device, it can really be useful in your real life. Well, as a musician, it is a really useful device for the guitar, and as a professional musician, it's really important.